My dear Mr. Bennet, have you heard the news?
I have not.
It's tremendous importance to all of us.
Can't it wait until I finish this chapter?
No! This is more important than any book that's ever been written. Great House at Netherfield has been let at last.
Not really.
Yes, it's true. Mrs. Long has just been here and told me. Don't you want to know who's taken it?
If you want to tell me, I have no objection to hearing.
Well, my dear, he's a young man of large fortune from the north of England.
What's his name?
His name's Bingley. He's single, and with 4,000 or 5,000 a year. What a splendid thing for one of our girls.
How so? How can it affect them?
Mr. B, how can you be so tiresome? You must know I'm thinking of as marrying one of them.
Is that his design in settling here?
Design? Nonsense. I think it quite likely that he will fall in love with one of them. So you see, you must visit him as soon as possible.
Well, I see no occasion for that. You and the girls may go. Or you may send them by themselves. That may be wiser. For you are as handsome as any of them. Mr. Bingley might like you the best of the party.
My dear, you flatter me. But when a woman has 3 grown daughters, it's time she gave over thinking of her own beauty. But you will call on Mr. Bingley at once.
Oh, come now, that's going rather far. It is an etiquette I despise. If he wants my society, let him seek it. I shall not spend my hours in running after my neighbours.
Mr. Bennet, do you never think of your daughter's futures? You don't realise that with your estate entailed, they'll be practically penniless when you die. To think of that odious cousin of yours, that Collins.
Oh, speaking of Collins, I've had a letter.
Now, Mr. Bennet, don't try to change the subject. We're speaking of Collins, not of letters. This creature inheriting our home. And you entailing your estate away from your own daughters.
Is it really impossible for you to understand that the law of entail was not of my devising, Mrs. Bennet? The law dictates that all estates shall be inherited by male descendants only. We have no son, as possibly you remember.
How can you criticize me? You've no compassion on my nerves.
You are mistaken, my dear. I have a high regard for your nerves. But you mentioned them in the last 20 years.
Yes, I suffer.
Oh, that's right, my dear. Have a nice little cry. It seems to help your nerves.
Lady Lucas and Miss Lucas.
Oh, good Lord. I think I'll go out and get some air. My horse needs exercising. Half an hour for tea.
Back for tea. Let him miss his tea. It will do him good. Oh, how nice. I'd be pining to see you.
Oh, let me get near the fire. I'm positively frozen.
We only have a few moments this time. Have you heard of our new neighbours?
Yes, we've met the young man, Miss Bennet. Charming, perfectly charming. Charlotte was quite smitten with him. Aren't you, my love?
Oh, there's no use being smitten. The moment he sets eyes on Jane,
Who's going to set eyes on me? Lady Lucas. Charlotte. Lady Lucas. Hello, Charlotte.
hello, everybody! I mean, good afternoon.
Yeah, girls, Lady Lucas has met Mr. Bingley.
Sir William had already met him in London and is delighted with him.
Young, handsome, extremely agreeable, and rich, my dears.
I simply must insist that Mr. Bennet call tomorrow.
Well, you'll have to wait a few days. He has come up to London on business.
Are you sure?
Certainly. Charlotte was so disappointed. Weren't you, my love?
Oh, yes, Mamma.
Indeed. I do hope the young gentleman won't be flying about from one place to another instead of staying on at Netherfield as he ought to.
Surely, Mamma, he has a right to go to London if he wishes.
He only went for the night. He may be back today.
He's given a ball at my palace.
I must insist that Mr. Bennet call.
He's bringing his sister Caroline back with him. She's to keep house. And also Mr. Darcy, Squire of Pemberley, princely estate.
He is even wealthier than Mr. Bingley, and they are inseparable friends.
Also a bachelor?
Yes, we're reported to be engaged to his cousin, the daughter of Lady Catherine the Bird.
I never believed in marriage between cousins. The engagement is only a report, Lady Lucas.
Yes, so far. But he's a very high and mighty young man, Mrs. Bennet. He wouldn't look at anyone under Peel's daughter. His mother was Lady Anne Darcy, sister of Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Then Charlotte's not in the running either.
Mamma, please.
You forget, dear Mrs. Bennet, that since Sir William was knighted by His Majesty, Charlotte has been presented at court.
And Mr. Bennet was born a gentleman, dear Lady Lucas. Isn't that fortunate for us? My girls, don't do take presented.
Do let me give you some fresh tea.
No, thank you.
Not Charlotte, now the horsemen. Or any mutual friends, Lady Lucas.
Only a long sense perhaps their Hamlet.
Dear Jane, Lizzie,
Ah, my child. I wish Charlotte had been endowed with a quarter of your good looks. You certainly did well. Though it is true that sometimes men prefer character. Goodbye, Mrs. Bennet.
Goodbye, Lady Lucas.
Goodbye, dears. Thank you for the delightful tea.
Men prefer character, do they?
I can't say I have noticed it. But if she means that our Jamie lacks it, that's her mistake.
oh, she's only jealous. Poor Charlotte was squirming all over. Oh, she didn't mean anything by it.
Mamma, weren't your eyes a little bit red? You weren't crying for the Lucases came, were you?
Yes, your papa. Of all those selfish, inconsiderate
What
men.
unspeakable thing has he done this time?
Refuses to call on Mr. Bingley for no reason in the world.
Did you ask him to?
Of course.
And you call that no reason? Don't you know yet men instinctively refuse everything we ask them to do, and end by doing it?
But that doesn't sound sensible.
Who said they were sensible? I believe that Papa is on his way to Netherfield at this very moment.
Well, who cares if we meet Mr. Bingley or not? I prefer men in uniform. Military ones.
Ah, yes. Army officers are always excellent companions. You can talk to them and be thinking of something else at the same time.
Why?
Really, Lydia, I can't imagine where you get your queer ideas.
Oh, well, upon my word.
What is it? Really, Lydia, you shouldn't be staring out. Why, it's your father. And two gentlemen. Good gracious, Lizzie, you're uncanny. I believe there are new neighbours.
Lizzie, how clever you are.
Oh, my dears, none of you dressed in your taffetas.
Mrs. Bennet. Allow me to present our new neighbors. Mr. Bingley, my wife. Mr. Darcy, my wife and my daughters. Miss Jane, Miss Elizabeth, and Miss Lydia. We have some tea left for us, Mrs. Bennet.
Lydia, darling, for him. So charmed, gentlemen.
Your service, Mom.
I was riding to Netherfield to call on these gentlemen and actually met them en route to the village.
Never mind. It's so wonderful to have some eligible bachelors in their heaven at last, Mr. Bingley. I do hope we shall be seeing a lot of you this winter.
I hope you're finding our part of the country to your liking, Mr. Darcy.
I do not care for the country, Miss Bennet.
What a pity. Then it must irk you to be compelled to live in it. Lady Lucas was telling us you all stay dependent.
What? Not care for the country, sir? Surely you don't prefer London to Derbyshire.
One moves in such a confined circle outside big cities.
Well, I for one don't agree with you. I hear from Mrs. Long that your drawing room has such a nice prospect. I really don't know a place in the country to rival Netherfield for its view. I do hope you shan't be leaving us in a hurry, even though you have such a short leave.
I see you've done your research, Mrs. Bennet.
Nothing I do is done in a hurry. When I fall in love, I expect it will be the same.
That isn't anything to boast of, my dear fellow. It is a sign of a far from solid character.
Thank goodness for that. Mr. Bingley seems far too charming for civility.
You begin to understand me, Miss Bennet.
Perfectly.
Is that a compliment? To be so transparent?
In this case, yes. It's not always the deep people who are the charming ones.
Charming ones often cause the most trouble, though.
Sir, you are a student of character, Miss Bennet.
At times.
But you must have little opportunity to exercise your gift here.
On the contrary, sir.
I am of the opinion that those who live in the country belong to the country.
Well, as for me, I like them both, city or country. Wherever I am, I'm happy. Give me a horse, a long road, whiff of hay, country roads.
That's because you have a nice disposition, Mr. Bingley. That gentleman seems to think that great fields are beneath him.
Indeed, Mamma. You misunderstand Mr. Darcy. He only means that city people are different from us. May I give you some more tea, Mr. Darcy? I'm sure yours is very cold.
Thank you very much. This is my liking. Ready to drink it warm.
I believe you've met Sir William Lucas, Mr. Bingley.
Yes, Mum, he was the first gentleman of the county to honour me with a visit.
What an agreeable man. That, sir, is my version of good breeding. Unlike those who fancy themselves too important to open their mouths except to criticize.
Might be well to give them less cause.
I'm sorry you were not here earlier, Mr. Bingley. My friend Charlotte Lucas was here.
She seems a very pleasant young woman.
Oh, yes, very. But it's really tragic that the poor girl must be so plain.
Now, Mrs. Bennet.
Oh!
What about releasing the gentleman to come to the library for a glass of Madeira wine? That homicidal feeling is creeping over me that invariably attacks me at dinner.
It's very good of you, sir, but we must be getting back to Netherfield. My sister's alone.
Mr. Bennet, if you keep speaking to me like that, the gentleman will begin to pity me.
Indeed, Mum, we should never dream of pitying you.
I trust you may look forward to your visit to Netherfield very soon. With your daughter. My sister's impatient to receive you.
Tell Miss Bingley we shall call tomorrow. I want to be quite sure to secure you both for a little assembly next month.
Oh, that's most kind of you, Mom.
We usually have our ball at that time.
I should be prodigious to pleased to come. You rest assured of that, Mom.
Your servant, Mum.
Do you know, I shall work with those prestigious countries of England. That's a lot of factors and...
Oh, what type is Mama talking of?
Jane, he likes you.
Likes me? Why, Lizzie, whoever do you mean?
I don't mean Mr. Darcy, for I doubt that he likes anyone, except himself. But Mr. Bingley, there's a gentleman of rare intelligence and perception. From the first moment he laid eyes on you, he could look at no one else.
Ah, my darling Lizzie, for all the worldly wisdom you delight to assume, you have a truly romantic heart.
What? Never have I been so insulted.
Do not dare to deny it. And someday, some man will discover it. He will make you love him. Desperately. Marvelously.
Perhaps, my sweet. But I haven't yet met the man who can inspire so much as a flicker of interest.
Not Mr. Darcy?
That Mr. Darcy! Disagreeable, horrid man!
So high and conceited. Dear me, there's no enduring him.
Methinks she doth protest too much. What a darling Mr. Bingley is.
Quite the gentleman. I fancy myself you've made quite an impression on him.
Nothing to the impression you made on Mr. Darcy.
I've no desire to impress such an ill-bred young man. I don't want his admiration.
Well, that sounds like a veritable coincidence to me.
Well, has His Royal Highness departed yet? And I hope I never meet such a conceited prig again.
Dear my love, where did you get to?
I couldn't stand the majestic atmosphere of Mr. Darcy, Mamma.
Those who live in the country belong to the country.
He made me feel much too inferior.
Never mind. You're just as pretty as Lizzie, my love. I'm sure Mr. Bingley will dance with you at our ball.
Our ball? What ball, Mamma?
The one your papa and I are giving next month.
Thank you for the news of my intentions.
Why did you get the beforehand, George?
I knew myself only just before I said it.
I may be unduly inquisitive, but may I ask who's going to pay for this nonsense?
You, of course, you silly man. How do you ever expect me to find husbands for your daughters if you persist in being so stingy with me?
Mamma, you must invite all the officers from Colonel Forrester's regiment. I'll give you their names.
Only those with private incomes, my love. It's just as easy to fall in love with one of them.
Now, Mrs. Bennet, I have a surprise for you.
Surprise? Mr. Bennet, what have you been up to?
We are going to have an addition to the family circle for a few weeks. Our guest may arrive any time.
Mr. B, you will be the death of me with your slow way of telling things. A guest. May we know the name of this guest?
Mr. William Collins, my cousin. You know, the popular gentleman who may turn you all out as soon as he pleases when I am dead.
Oh, you love your little jokes, my dear. As if that odious creature would have the impudence to show his face here. I can't bear to think of Collins coming and taking my home when you die.
Mrs. Bennet, I wish you would not speak of me so constantly as a corpse. Listen a moment. I shall tell you his reason for inviting himself. Your heart may be softened.
Indeed it will not. I found it very impertinent of him to invite himself, and very hypocritical. I shall be very reserved with him. Very reserved indeed.
In his letter, he hinted, mind you, that he wishes to look over our daughters with the object of choosing one of them for a wife, so that he can partly atone for his guilt of inheriting our estate.
He sounds to me a bit of an ass.
Is that a nice way to speak of a clergyman?
And your future brother-in-law.
I thought I heard you refer to him as an odious creature a few moments ago, Mamma.
That, my dear, antedated is becoming a matrimonial prospect.
Mr. Bennet, sir, I showed the gentleman to his room as directed as soon as he arrived.
Oh, right. Already? Mr. Bennet.
Can't imagine how interested your letters have made me in this meeting.
Your most obedient sir.
Mrs. Bennet, let me present the Reverend Mr. Collins, our esteemed cousin, my wife, sir, and my daughters, Miss Jane, Miss Elizabeth, and Miss Lydia.
I've been long anxious to come. I must compliment you, ma'am, on so fine a family of daughters. I'm especially grateful that my overtures were so graciously accepted by you.
Not at all, dear cousin. We've all been looking forward to this happening.
I've heard much of their beauty, I must say, but in this instance, fame falls far short of truth. There is no doubt you will soon see them well disposed in marriage.
It is so kind of you to say so, cousin. Indeed. I hope so, for they will certainly need rich husbands. Things are arranged so very oddly.
You doubtless allude to the entail of the estate, ma'am.
'Tis indeed a grievous affair. Not that I blame you, not at all. We all know who is to blame.
Indeed, I am very sensitive of the hardship to my fair cousins. But I've come with a plan. Perhaps we are better acquainted.
Oh, Mr. Collins, I must see to it that Hill gets out Mr. Bennet's best port.
You are hospitality itself, dear Mrs. Bennet.
Come, Lydia, and help me. And in the meantime, do proceed with your plan.
You seem pretty disfortunate in your patroness, cousin.
The Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
You know her ladyship, cousin?
Only by name, sir. We do not mingle with such exalted society in America.
Do not be downhearted, dear Miss Elizabeth. Stranger things have happened. I must assure you, and when you do meet her ladyship, believe me, you will agree it is the greatest of privileges. Her ladyship has actually invited me to dine at her mansion, Rosings, twice, indeed. Yes. Her ladyship is considered to be proud and haughty by many people, but I've seen nothing but affability and condescension.
Does her ladyship live near?
The garden in which stands my humble abode is separated only by a lane from Rosings Park.
You certainly are blessed, sir.
I try to remain worthy of my good fortune, sir. I often observe to her ladyship that her daughter seemed born to be a duchess. These little remarks please a mother who is nobly born, and it's the sort of attention I feel it is my duty to pay.
You certainly have a high sense of duty, sir. May I ask whether it comes naturally, or do you think it out?
It's quite natural with me, sir.
Isabel, we've had some go to Miss Collins.
After dinner, my dear cousin, if you care for it, I am considered a very good reader. I will gladly read aloud to you as we gather round the fire.
Oh, that would be entrancing. We have a vast deal of novels.
Novels. My dear cousin, I never read such works, but I have brought with me an excellent volume of Fordyce's sermons.
outside.
Never, Miss Jane. On my honor.
You should have danced well with the others.
Dance with the others. You are there.
Your servant. But there's something most grievously wrong here.
Wrong?
That you should be alone for an instant. It is a reflection on the intelligence of every gentleman present. And one so young. So surpassing fair. Should like an escort.
Mr. Wickham, you officers talk as beautifully as you look.
Our lives of grim duty make us doubly appreciative, Miss Lydia. To the rigors of camp life it is. She delighted to find herself in such an elegant company. So fine a house.
You must see many houses that are fine.
There are not many that bespeak so much quiet gentility. A perfect setting for such an exquisite woman.
As what, Mr. Wickham?
Need I say, Miss Lydia?
Why, yes. I think you might.
Some shrug, Miss Lydia.
No. Papa says I mustn't. He says it's too strong. He thinks I'm a child.
Papas are all like that. Papa's a wealthy man, Miss Bennet. But I should say that his greatest treasure is his youngest daughter.
Oh, my dear Lydia! And Mr. Wickham!
Your servant, Mum.
Would you have some shrub, Lady Lucas? Mr. Bennet assures me it's quite harmless. Oh, that will be lovely. Have you seen a conservatory, Mr. Wickham?
No, Mum. I have just been
Lydia, do take Mr. Wickham to see the conservatory. We have some tropical things of some kind. Never remember those dreadful Latin names, but I do hear they're lovely specimens.
Do come, Mr. Wickham.
with the utmost pleasure.
Just think of it! My youngest daughter, virtually of marriageable age. It seems incredible.
With 3 daughters, you must find yourself in a permanent state of incredibility.
Oh, I know! But it makes life so entertaining, doesn't it? And Lydia's such a well-behaved young lady. Quite so very pretty.
If only Charlotte.
Oh, indeed, Lady Lucas, you mustn't think that way. Charlotte's such a sensible girl.
That means it's going to be very difficult to find her a husband. You should know how little regard gentlemen have for sense in young ladies, dear Miss.
Indeed, I've no authority on such matters. I was married so very young.
Yes, I know.
Young again.
Tippling, Mamma. And you, Lady Lucas. Shame on you.
There's nothing in this, Lizzie. Your papa promised.
Then my dear Papa must have been absent-minded when he made the mixture. It's violently potent.
Oh, my dear Lady Lucas. Perhaps we'd best not finish our cups.
Your guests are waiting you, Mamma.
Yes. Charlotte, dear. I do hope you're particularly nice to Mr. Darcy.
As nice as I may be, Mrs. Bennet.
None of my girls can abide him.
Clearly my family are having a competition to see who can expose themselves to the most ridicule. Is it not lucky to get away from all those dancing dervishes? We are shown with the shrub side.
Please. Mr. Bingley was saying what a good idea it was to have it away from the supper room, where a fellow could have his tipple in peace. Nice young gentleman, isn't he?
Quite charming. Jane seems to think so too.
I wonder if her shyness is such an asset, though. There are few of us who are secure enough to be really in love without proper encouragement.
You fear Bingley might need encouragement. I think he likes her very much.
And she like him. Bingley might not do more if she does not help him on.
She is just shy and modest. If Bingley cannot receive her God, he is a fool.
You're all fools in love. Does not know her character as we do. And if she were married to him tomorrow, I should think she had as good a chance at happiness as if you were studying her character for a 12 month. Happiness in marriage is entirely a matter of chance. And it is better to know as little as possible of the defects of the person with whom you are to pass your life.
You make me laugh, Charlotte. But you're never acting this way yourself.
I imagine Bingley will get the needed encouragement this evening. He seems to be enjoying himself immensely.
I hope so. For myself, I can call it deadly dull.
It's a means to an end. Surely Miss Caroline Bingley is warning against spinsterhood.
Is a warning necessary?
Did you notice the fair young Lydia's triumphant progress in the ballroom? And right under the maternal nose, too. And your mother just beamed on her.
Yes. Mamma is shocked if a gentleman glimpses our ankles. But for him to understand, he may obtain complete possession is perfectly proper.
Oh, dear me. My feet ache.
What do you think of that new man, Mr. Wickham? Very attractive, isn't he?
That delectable Collins trod all over me.
Are you trying to evade my question, Charlotte?
About Wickham. I noticed Miss Bingley refused to stand up with him.
I expect she models herself on Darcy, and only stands with members of the peerage.
Be quite sincere. I feel there's something not right about this Wickham. Don't waste your time here. Concentrate on Darcy. I noticed your furtive glances in his direction, and he's rich, aristocratic.
Priggish and snobbish.
Well, we must take what offers, my dear. When do we ever meet the knights of our dreams? Men were put into the world to teach women the law of compromise.
Don't be ridiculous, Charlotte. Come, we must speak with your remaining guests.
Darcy, what are you thinking of? The evening is nearly over. You must dance. Come, be a good fellow.
I realize that I'm not contributing much to the gaiety of the assembly, but it is difficult to be a good fellow on such an occasion.
Aren't any of the young ladies to your taste?
Some women in the room think it might be a punishment for me to stand up.
You call them all uncommonly pretty. Miss Jane is the prettiest of all. Really, Darcy, you're notoriously lacking in appreciation. But, did you ever see anyone more exquisitely lovely?
If you wish me to agree with you, I shall be glad to do so. Miss Elizabeth?
Yes.
She is the one above all others that I prefer to avoid.
But really, most agreeable.
On the contrary, she is one of the most disagreeable young women I have ever had the ill luck to encounter.
Shame on you, Darcy. She's a delightful young girl. Find out for yourself.
Oh, very well, for your sake. But I'll only stand up with her once.
You may change your mind.
Why do we tolerate that man?
No doubt because he is of the very rich. He does not envy the tribe nor it.
Well, I shall see that he does not come here again.
You forget, dear, that he is the bosom friend of Bingley. You may influence him against Jane.
Oh, Miss Elizabeth, I was looking for you to bid you good night. I'm leaving at once. You'll excuse me. Something very unpleasant.
Unpleasant? Here.
I'd rather not talk about it.
But Mr. Wickham, I insist.
Just now in the ballroom, Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy. What has he done?
Your mother wished to present me to Miss Bingley. Mr. Darcy was with her at the moment. They declined to be introduced and walked away.
This is beyond bearing. Why? I was not even aware that you had met before.
We knew each other only too well.
And yet he declined to meet you. There usually is some reason for a gentleman to refuse to meet a fellow guest.
A gentleman would have more consideration for his hostess.
I'm not qualified to form any opinion of Miss Darcy. I've known him too long and too well to be a fair judge.
So, Mr. Wickham, why did he offer you such an affront?
Please do not ask me, Miss Bennet. I do not wish to injure him in your eyes. If you'll permit me, I shall say good night. He might come in. I will not subject you to repetition of the disgraceful scene in the ballroom.
Indeed, you would never dare.
But may I ask, why you are so anxious to avoid him, Mr. Wickham?
Sense of very great injustice. Wish to spare him the embarrassment of meeting me.
Injustice. I am full of sympathy.
You are so kind, Miss Elizabeth.
Tell me, where did you know him?
My father was man to the Darcy estate in Derbyshire.
Oh.
When the other Darcy died, he left instruction that his son should bestow upon me a sum of money.
May one ask why, Mr. Wickham?
I was his godson. He was very fond of me. I was also to receive his gift, the clerical living at Pemberley.
But surely Mr. Darcy obeyed his dead father's wishes.
He refused me both the living and the money.
The wretch!
I was forced to enter the army, a life I detest.
What can have induced him to behave so cruelly?
A determined dislike of me, which I can attribute only to jealousy.
Indeed, I do not like Mr. Darcy, but I could hardly have believed him dishonest.
And I should thought him too proud to be.
Thank you for your sympathy, Miss Elizabeth. It has been very precious to me. Forgive me for inflicting all this upon you, but your heart is so kind. Please let me go now. Convey my apologies and regrets to Mrs. Bennet. I will go this way.
There's a sample of Darcy for you.
Surely, Lizzie, there are two sides to this affair.
Yes, a right and a wrong.
I don't like emotional men at Wickham. It seems to me that the reserve of Darcy is preferable.
Ah, Miss Elizabeth, they are playing the last extra. May I have the honor?
Thank you, sir. I'm too tired to dance anymore. Besides, I fear the honor would be more than I could bear.
Have I had the misfortune to offend you?
It is rather Mr. Wickham whom you have offended, sir. One of my mother's guests.
It is more than he merits.
I beg your pardon. I found him very charming. I'm sure my mother did as well.
He's blessed with a charm that makes new friendships. I doubt he possesses the quality to retain.
He certainly lacked the talent to retain yours. It's your turn to make a remark now.
To say, you may consider said.
Did you enjoy the music, Mr. Darcy?
Yes.
Very well. I dare say there are times when it is better to limit conversation to yes or no.
Are you consulting your own wishes, or do you imagine you are gratifying mine?
Both. I recognize our similarity. We are each unsociable and taciturn, reluctant to speak unless we can say something that will astonish the whole room or be handed down to posterity.
I hardly think that describes your character, Miss Bennet. You are probably describing mine and include yourself out of pity of my wounded feelings.
Have you any, Mr. Darcy?
Evidently you have decided about that.
I hear such different accounts of you. I am puzzled. When you are present, some of the reports seem difficult to believe.
And why bother to try to solve the puzzle when one has reliable third-hand reports?
Are you ready, Mr. Darcy? Almost everyone we know has gone. You haven't danced much, Miss Bennet.
No. There is a scarcity of gentlemen, and I prefer to leave them for our guests. I trust you have had plenty of partners, Miss Dingley. Won't you wait for your brother in the conservatory?
Thank you. I expect he'll come here for me. You danced a good deal with Mr. Wickham. I didn't know he was a friend of yours. How did you ever meet him?
He came here with Colonel Forster. He's a very interesting young man and seems a gentleman.
What curious taste you have, Miss Elizabeth.
We are speaking of one of my mother's guests, Miss Dingley.
Did you know that his father was merely a steward on the Darcy estate? A sort of servant? No doubt he told you that Mr. Darcy had injured him.
He did.
Do let me caution you not to give too much credence to his tale, for the truth happens to be just the contrary. I'm sorry you must be disillusioned. But what can you expect, considering his origins?
That seems to be his chief fault in your eyes, Miss Dingley. People don't arrange their origins in advance. Nor have I observed that the well-born are the well-bred.
I think, perhaps, Miss Bingley, you attach too much importance to the accident of birth.
Accident? Really, Miss Lucas?
Haven't you ever learned any biology?
I hope I was never so unfeminine. I hear that you are very clever and read books on subjects that only belong to gentlemen. It's going to get you very far.
And when you speak of getting far, suppose you refer to marriage with one of them.
Certainly. And you are going the wrong way about that, I assure you. Men detest clever women.
Why? Did you let them discover how clever you were, Miss Lecky? I must get my wrap, so you come in, Lecky.
I'll tell your brother you're waiting for him.
Ill-bred young woman. I can imagine what you are thinking, Mr. Darcy.
I doubt it.
I am too much alike for me to not feel or disgust at such people. That Elizabeth, full, over-educated. I am longing to get back home to Netherfield to hear you call forth on the family.
I was really thinking of what beautiful eyes can do in the face of a pretty woman.
Goodness, I am all astonishment. How long has she been in your favor? And when am I to wish you joy?
Exactly what I expected you to ask. A lady's imagination is so rapid. It jumps from admiration to love, and from love to marriage and marriage.
Nay, if you are serious about it, I shall consider you already married. Certainly hear no opposition from you. And what a charming mother-in-law you will have.
To delay your fears for my future, Miss Bingley, I have no doubt Miss Elizabeth Bennet will soon be married. Not to me.
Have you noticed Charles? Seems to be falling in love with Jane. Of course, I'm very fond of her. She's really a sweet, dear girl. But my dearest ambition has always been to see Charles and your sister Georgiana. I should hate to hurt her, but my brother's interests come first.
I do not believe he's really serious, but we'll have a talk. I'll go and hurry him.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Mr. Darcy. For the family is truly impossible. The mother especially.
Oh, Mr. Darcy. I've only just heard that you are the nephew of my revered patroness, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. I want to apologize for not having paid my respects earlier. I'm happy to inform you that your noble aunt is enjoying robust health. I heard from her only yesterday. She bids me speed my wooing and hurry home.
What wooing, Mr. Collins?
Ah, it is a secret as yet, ma'am, but as you are friends of the family...
Of the family.
It is Miss Elizabeth. I have chosen her to be mistress of my parsonage.
May I congratulate you, Mr. Collins? A most suitable marriage. I don't imagine you will be refused. It is no easy matter for a girl without wealth or connections to find a suitable husband, especially when they're hampered with an oversupply of intelligence.
Oh, you do her injustice, Miss Bingley. I'm sure my cousin is not unsexed with too much brain. I shouldn't like that at all. May I hope to see something of you, sir, when next you visit your revered relative?
Have I kept you waiting?
Ah, Charles, here you are at last.
I'm having such a splendid time.
But you'll all excuse me. There's a certain young lady who commands my most ardent attention.
Well, I fancy Miss Elizabeth's intelligence will protect her from that particular calamity.
Are we all ready? Said goodnight to our host. By the way, Charles, what was it Jane was telling you about her uncle?
Oh, I just like speaking badly of a fellow I've never met. He told me he's an attorney.
Good heavens.
And lives at Cheapside.
Well, if Jane and Elizabeth have enough of this, not all of the chiefs, doesn't make them one less bit lovable and charming.
But it does materially lessen the chances of marriage, with men of any consideration in the world.
Well, my darling, you've had a happy time.
Lizzie, I'm too happy. It frightens me.
My darling, happiness belongs to you. Is it Charles? Has he made you an offer?
Oh no, Lizzie. You know he will ask our father first. But I know he will. Oh, I know.
One can't always be so sure in these matters. What makes you so certain?
He kissed me, Lizzie.
Oh, then, darling, you're as good as married.
Oh, Miss Lydia,
See if they're all in Colonel Forrester's regiment, Mamma. I was watching the door.
I simply couldn't cope with any more untempered for one morning. You'd better fold it back exactly as it was. I don't know what makes men so tiresome at breakfast time.
At breakfast time? Oh, Mamma, I do wish I knew where the regiment was to be stationed. How I adored to see the young men in their uniforms, showing off their dashing figures.
Upon my word, the last creature in the country.
I'm astonished you should be quite so ready to call your own daughter silly, Mr. Bennet.
Well, if my children are idiots, I hope I'm intelligent enough to know it.
You can't expect a girl to have much sense of a mother. I dare say Lydia doesn't think as I dare say I found as much of men in uniform as Lydia at her age. I think Mr. Wickham looked very becoming in his uniform last week.
Mamma, my Aunt Philip says that Colonel Forrester and Mr. Wickham are quite often standing outside the library at Meryton. Couldn't Lizzie and Jane and I
For
walk?
God's sake, find something useful to do. Do your studies. Don't let me listen to any more of this foolishness.
Papa, I think you handled Lydia the wrong way.
She's only a baby yet. Soldiers are romantic to her.
I only hope she'll get more sense as she grows older. Though I doubt it ever comes if it isn't born in a female.
I suppose our dear cousin is writing a sermon for Sunday.
Are we really to be bereft of his sparkling society in a few days? His monthly visits are so enriching. You've changed your opinion of that young man, Mrs. Bennet. He still inherits the estate, you know.
But I fancy he's going to remain in the family after all. He seems enchanted with Lizzie. And what with Jane and his family.
You've got the whole thing settled, eh? Do the gentlemen know of your plans?
Don't be tiresome, Mr. Bennet.
Jane, will you come to the village with me this afternoon?
Jane, I thought you were going to visit Mr. Bingley.
Bah! There's too much chatter here. I'm going upstairs to read my paper in peace.
Men have no control whatever on their nerves. Jane, I really think you ought to stay home.
Yes, Mamma. I think I will. Letters.
One for you, Miss Jane. One for you, Miss Lizzie. And one for Miss Lydia.
Give it here.
Thank you.
Oh, cousin, we've missed you.
Thank you. Yes, I have 2 sermons to prepare in readiness for my return to my parish. Now nothing remains before my lamented departure Wednesday.
I wonder if I can guess, you naughty boy.
Have I your permission, ma'am, and Mr. Bennet's, of course, to pay my addresses to your fair daughter Elizabeth?
Yes, at once. Lizzie, my love. Where do my girls go? They were here just now. Elizabeth!
Shyness, no doubt. My dear Mrs. Bennet, Miss Elizabeth is avoiding me out of maidenly modesty.
Were you calling me, Mamma? Mr. Collins, have you finished your sermon? If you'll excuse me, I want to reply to a letter I got from Mr. Wickham.
No, Lizzie. Mr. Collins has something to say to you.
But Mr. Collins cannot nothing that won't wait, Mamma.
Elizabeth! I desire you to remain here.
It is perfectly understandable, and indeed proper, that the young girl should display this modesty, Mrs. Bennet. Pray, don't blame your charming daughter. It is indeed an added incentive. You can hardly be in doubt as to what it is I am about to propose, my dear lovely Elizabeth. Your natural delicacy may lead you to dissemble, but I flatter myself my intentions have been too marked to be mistaken. I have singled you out as the companion of my future life, and before my feelings run away with me, I owe it to you to tell you the reasons. That very noble lady, my patroness, has condescended to advise me to marry, and even goes so far as to promise to actually visit, the lady I bring back to parsonage as my wife, if I choose wisely. Another reason, my dear cousin, is that you have the honor of knowing her nephew, Mr.Darcy. The mere fact of your acquaintance with him would do much to recommend you to her favor. And charming and genteel as he is, his manners are nothing to those of his noble aunt. You can learn so much from her. These, my dear Miss Elizabeth, are my motives. And now nothing remains but to assure you of the violence of my affection. I know that £1,000 is all you will receive as a dowry, and even that you shall not receive until the death of your mother. Which lamentable event may not occur for several days. You may rest assured that on that score, no generous word of reproach shall ever pass my lips after we are married.
Aren't you a little hasty, sir? You seem to forget that I made no answer to this dazzling offer. I appreciate the honor you have done to me, but candor compels me to decline it.
I understand. Yes, indeed. It is a charming and delicate custom for young ladies to say no when they mean yes. You are not discouraged and shall hope to lead you to the altar before very long.
Upon my word, sir, you are very difficult to discourage. I assure you I'm not one of those idiotic young ladies you describe. Indeed, they exist outside novels. Difficult as it seems for you to believe, I will not marry you.
Come, Miss Elizabeth.
You cannot make me happy, and I certainly cannot make you so.
Such charming modesty.
What is more, I have no ambition to try. And if your friend, the Lady Catherine de Bourgh, really knew me, she would utterly disapprove of me for the exalted position you offer.
No, if I thought Lady Catherine would disapprove. No, impossible, dear cousin. My mind is made up. And I am by all means certain that it is by any means certain that any other gentleman will ever make you an offer. So I naturally understand that your rejection of my suit is according to the usual practice of elegant females.
I see. What if you can? Try to stop thinking me as an elegant female. Just picture me as a rational creature, with the most inelegant habit of speaking the truth.
You are quite adorable.
Mr. Collins!
I am quite certain now that when my proposal is formally sanctioned by your excellent parents, that you will plainly say yes.
No, Mr. Collins. I will as plainly as possible say no. And you need not scamper in front of me again. This time I am going out by this door.
She loves me. She loves me.
Well, my dear future son-in-law, I wish you joy.
Thank you. Indeed, I trust I have every reason to be satisfied. Of course, I know that my cousin's refusal naturally stems from her bashful modesty.
Refusal? Bashful modesty? With her that doesn't mean acceptance, but...
You think she's serious?
Never mind, my dear boy. I'll convince her. Headstrong, foolish girl. She never knows her own interests, but I'll teach her.
Foolish. Dear me, I fear if she has those qualities, she'll hardly succeed in making me happy. Pray, don't force her, Mrs. Bennet, I pray you. I fear if she has those defects, she will not succeed in making me happy.
No, dear, no. The dear child is merely willful in these matters, and so shy, you can't imagine. All her life she's run away from admiration. She is a veritable gazelle, I assure you. Just wait 1 minute. I'll get her papa. He always brings her to reason. Mr. Bennet! Mr. Bennet!
Willful, foolish, headstrong, a gazelle. I've just remembered a call I promised to make on Sir William Lucas. Will you be kind enough to inform your mistress that I've stepped out for the afternoon?
Certainly, sir. Mr. Bennet! Bennet! Oh, Mr. Bennet, you're My dear, you must do something. You must use your authority. Elizabeth, Lizzie, refuses to marry Mr. Collins. You must force her to change her mind. You must make haste, Mr. Bennet, or he will change his and not have her.
I have not the pleasure of understanding you. Might I ask what you are talking about?
Oh, Mr. Collins! And Lizzie! Lizzie declares she won't have him, and now he begins to say he won't have her.
And it seems entirely settled on both sides. What am I supposed to do?
Tell her you insist upon her marrying him.
Where is this misguided girl?
Elizabeth!
Elizabeth,
Yes, sir.
come here, my child. I understand that Mr. Collins has made you an offer, and that you have refused.
I know, Papa.
Very well. Let's come to the point. Your mother insists on your accepting him. Isn't that so, Mrs. Bennet?
Or I shall never speak to her again.
It seems that an unhappy alternative awaits you, Lizzie. Therefore, you must be a stranger to one of your parents. Your mother will never speak to you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins. And I will never speak to you again if you do.
Thank heavens we're rid of Collins for the day.
What? Where?
He's just ridden off to the Lucases. He can't be back for hours.
Now see what you've done, Lizzie, you ungrateful girl! You've lost him. And now that plain-faced, scheming little cat will get him and turn us all out when we father down!
Nonsense. Charlotte, look at him.
Not so hasty, Lizzie. Charlotte can't afford to be as particular as you.
Oh,
And she
Lizzie,
knows it.
how can you decide to be an old maid? What a family I have! Lydia, why didn't you stop him? He might have had you.
Rubbish! You not have Lydia, and Lizzie will be no old maid. Grant men a little judgment, my dear. The ineffable Collins is not the only example of his sex, thank God.
Jane, dear!
Yes, Mamma, did you want me?
Oh, Jane, Lizzie is done for. She's going to be an old maid.
Oh.
You've been crying. Oh, yeah. Tell me something's gone wrong between you and Mr. Bingley.
Ha ha ha. We seem to be the three graces nobody wants. I suspect Jane will be an old maid soon. She's almost 23.
Lydia!
And Lizzie had better have taken Collins. Not that there would have been any fun. How I should like to be married before any do. Then I can chaperone you to all the balls.
For heaven's sake, Lydia, do stop it. It's nothing, Mamma. Jane had a letter from Caroline Bingley from London.
London? You don't mean they've left Netherfield?
They've only managed to see some of the playhouse, Mamma. I'm sure they'll be back.
I think Mr. Bingley should have made an offer for you to your father before he left for London. He's compromised you enough with his attentions over these past months.
Don't, Mamma.
I'll get Mr. Bennet.
No, darling. I'll come back.
Lizzie, he hasn't sent one word. Not one. Can't understand it. Caroline nearly tells me they went back into the spring.
Nonsense. You'll see. You'll be here to see Papa before the speaker's out. Only, darling, don't trust Caroline Bingley. She's fond of you, I know. But she doesn't want you as a brother's wife.
Oh no, Lizzie. Caroline has been so sweet to me. She's incapable of deceit.
All right, my sweet. Believe in her as you do everyone. One comfort. Even she can't persuade Charles if he doesn't love you.
But how can I marry him with his sisters against it?
That you must decide for yourself, my dearest. If you decide that the anguish of disobliging his captive sister is more than equal to the joy of marrying him, I advise you to refuse him.
You naughty girl, Lizzie. You know very well that I should marry him. It affects every relative he has. But if he doesn't come back, Lizzie, I couldn't bear it. I think I should die.
He must come back. You
up to?
Jane dear, your father and I have decided to let you accept your gardener's invitation to spend a few months with her and my brother in London.
But Mama, I didn't know my aunt had invited me.
Oh, she hasn't, dear. The letter will be on its way to London tomorrow, and your father's ready to take you up as soon as you can be ready.
Mama.
Well, Mrs. Bennet, you certainly don't believe that marriages are made in heaven.
From what I know of men, dear, if we left it to them in heaven, we should all be old maids.
Come, Jane.
Job.
My dear Lizzie, I've come here to tell you the news. Mr. Collins and I are engaged.
To be married?
Yes, of course, Lizzie.
What other kind of engaged is there?
Engaged? To Mr. Collins? My dear Charlotte, impossible.
I know what you are feeling. You're surprised. Very much surprised, as lately Mr. Collins was wishing to marry you. When you have had the time to think it all over, I hope you will be satisfied with what I have done.
He's ridiculous. You do not love him. You could not even be totally happy.
Oh, hush! Do you think it incredible that Mr. Collins would be able to procure any woman's good opinion because he was not so happy as to succeed with you? Not romantic, you know. I never was. I ask only a comfortable hope. I consider Mr. Collins' character, connections, and situation in life. I am convinced that my chances of happiness with him are as fair as most people can boast on entering the marriage state.
Undoubtedly.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Lizzie. Don't look at me like that. Don't judge me, Lizzie. Don't you dare judge me. I'm 27 years old. I've no money. No prospects. I'm already a burden to my parents. And I'm frightened.
Oh, Charles, I do so wish you might be happy.
You must promise me one thing, Lizzie. You will visit us in our new home.
Of course, Charles.
And I shall depend on hearing from you very often.
You certainly shall.
Auntie, I've had such a lovely walk. I feel almost well again now. After visiting with Mrs. Anderson, you will feel better still, darling. And wait till I tell you the news about Lizzie. What? You've had a letter from her? Yes. What do you think, Auntie? She's actually staying at Rosings with Lady Catherine de Bourgh. She was invited with Mr. and Mrs. Collins.
Mrs. Collins? But I thought that silly young man had been knocked for Lizzie.
Yes, but after she rejected him, he tried Charlotte Lucas with better result. Mamma has refused to kiss Lizzie goodnight ever since.
I should think Mrs. Bennet would have thanked heaven instead.
Oh no. Mamma regards any husband as better than no husband. About marriage, Mamma is not very romantic.
That is the most penetrating observation I have ever heard from your innocent lips today.
I wonder how Lizzie will like Lady Catherine de Bourgh. I hear she is even more imposing than Mr.Darcy. He is at Rosings too. Lizzie professes to detest him, but I think she has feelings for him. I've always liked him. I fear that under that proud, shy manner
You like all the world, darling.
Oh, sure, Mum. Tell yourself us driving up to the front door. The grandest courage. It's me, Mum, it must be. I've never seen the like of the two horses and the coachman.
Is Miss Lecky alone, Maggie?
No, I couldn't see blindly. But they sure I am himself when I'm sitting in the carriage beside her.
Hurry, Maggie, go and open the door.
Thank goodness you don't see that right in the world, babe. I'll go and see that the scones are hot.
Miss Bingley!
Jane, dear, I'm planning to see you.
Dear Caroline, I'm very happy to see you again. Is everyone well? Mr. Darcy? Your brother?
Oh, very well indeed, my dear. We've all been so busy. Miss Georgiana Darcy is up in town for her first season, you know. She and her brother have been entertaining vastly at the Darcy house.
Mr. Darcy is quite devoted to his sister, isn't he?
He's not the only one. Indeed, she's so lovely. One can't wonder. Oh, that fortune. Did you know she will have £20,000 when she's of age? Quite a breathtaking sum, isn't it? Not that money matters to either Charles or myself. Still, one can't have too much of it.
But I'm sure that with such a sweet girl as Miss Darcy, money counts for very little. She must have many suitors, I suppose.
Naturally, but you can be sure that the Darcy family will only allow her to take a young gentleman of the highest connection. You don't look as well as you did in the country, my dear. Have you been poorly?
Oh, no. I've never felt better. I'm always a little pale in the city. I miss the fresh air. Yeah. Are you and your brother going to be staying much longer in London, Caroline?
Only until the conclusion of this affair.
Some business, Caroline?
I wouldn't confide this to anyone else, but since you and I are such close friends, no time at all to give myself the pleasure of visiting you here. I promise to keep it secret,
Of course.
I'm hoping to hear the happy news any day now. I'm sure you will be the first to wish them joy.
Them? Joy?
Charles and dear Georgiana.
Indeed. Indeed. I wish them joy if they truly love each other.
Oh, the dear boy is so much in love. I tease him about it all the time. He's never home now, always escorting Miss Darcy here, there, everywhere round the playhouse. Mr. Darcy and I have wanted this match for ever so long. Thank you for your wishes. I'll convey them to Charles.
May I present to you my aunt, Mrs. Gardner?
Permit me to welcome you, Miss Bingley. I'm vastly pleased, ma'am. Oh, I forgot in all my excitement. Charles sends his best respects.
Thank him for me.
They offer you some tea, Miss Bingley. Thank you, just the tiniest cup. Sugar and milk, Miss Bingley. No, thank you.
It is so sweet of you to find time to visit my aunt, dear Caroline. I would have been here earlier, but I've been really persecuted with invitations.
Jane, dearest, I'd make your tea stronger. Jane is overtired, gadding about so much since she came to London. But I didn't know you had any acquaintances here. Is that why you've been so attentive to her? I didn't know she was in London until she called, nearly a month ago.
Auntie, I have no claim on Miss Bingley's time. She has many friends in London of much longer standing.
Indeed, dear Jane, you understand perfectly. She's always so good about one's difficulties. Even this short visit has simply bankrupted my time. Mr. Darcy's visiting his Aunt Rosie's. I have to keep Miss Georgiana entirely under my own wing. I can't leave those two young people alone, you know. The betrothal hasn't been announced yet. It's been so nice to meet you, Mrs. Gardner.
Attend Miss Bingley to our coach, Maggie.
Goodbye, dear Jane. It's been a delight to see you again.
Good afternoon. Oh, Auntie.
There, my darling. I know. It's a disillusionment that cuts the very heart.
But to abandon me. Not a word. What could I have done? Love me, Auntie, he did. He kissed me once. And I kissed him. You believe Believe me, daughter, that I should never have done that if I hadn't thought he was to make me an offer. Of course I do, my lamb. And do you suppose that he understands that too? I wouldn't have him think ill of me.
It's all a mystery to me. When I met him at Longbourn, he seemed such a properly sweet young gentleman.
Well, he is, Auntie. I assure you he is. And now it's all over. I can't bear it. I can't.
Morning, Miss Elizabeth.
Good morning, sir.
It seems a pity to be wasting all this sunshine.
It would be if one were doing so without good reason.
You're writing letters.
Shall we say I was trying to?
Pray not to be disturbed.
Is there something you wish to say, Mr. Darcy?
I was wondering whether you were pleased with Kent.
I prefer Hertfordshire.
You had little opportunity for conversing these past few days. I was surprised to discover your fellow guest at my aunt's.
I too was surprised. I had expected to stay with the Collinses, the parsonage. I was not expecting such an excessive hospitality on the part of your aunt.
She likes to have young people about her. But I did not know you were to be here.
Otherwise, you would have remained in town.
On the contrary, I should come with even greater alacrity.
You surprise me, sir. I did not know you were so sociably inclined.
Usually I am not. You wish to finish writing, but when you have more leisure...
Mr. Darcy, if it is conversation you are in need of, I'm sure your aunt, Lady Catherine, will be more than delighted to furnish it. You must excuse me. I have to finish my letter.
Cousin, you're surely not aware that her ladyship has been asking for you. She intends to join you presently.
I am honored, but I am very busy, Mr. Collins.
Busy? Oh, no one is busy when Lady Catherine de Bourgh honors them with her attention.
It would seem you have discovered an exception, Mr. Collins.
You must forgive, my dear cousin. She's had so few advantages. I'd like to do things for Lady Catherine. She is accustomed to deference. Her ladyship is coming. Are you sure you're quite ready, cousin?
Yes, Mr. Collins.
Ah, here you are, Darcy. It is kind of you to amuse Miss Bennet until I can entertain her. Miss Bennet, I was sorry to notice your small appetite at breakfast. It is not a sensible habit to make a light meal in the morning. Oh, that window. Widely open. The sunlight is very bad for really good furniture. No, Collins. No. Where is Fitzwilliam?
Still asleep, I believe.
Asleep? And it's close to 9 o'clock. Whatever can he be thinking of?
Of nothing, I should judge. Remember, he has been fighting for his country in India. He has a right to be somewhat tired.
He has no right to be late for breakfast in my house. Ah, you're writing letters, I see, Miss Bennet.
I was.
But why in this room? We always write our letters in the library.
Yes, I know, Lady Catherine. But the library does not possess such a view, and I wrote with so much more inspiration while looking out on the green trees and the flowers.
But you've not yet seen half the beauty of Rosings yet, cousin. That view is trifling, merely trifling.
That, Miss Bennet, is not a view at all. My estate would require a month at least to appreciate all its varied prospects.
I believe Miss Bennet wishes to finish writing her letter, Aunt.
Nonsense, Darcy. I haven't had sufficient leisure to become acquainted with Miss Bennet since her arrival. It's fortunate that I had a little time this morning. We are waiting for Mrs. Collins to accompany us on our weekly duty visit to the cottagers. Now, my child, you did not finish telling me about your sisters last evening. How many did you say you have?
2, your ladyship.
And how many carriages does your papa keep, my dear?
1, Lady Catherine.
And what was your mamma's maiden name?
God and a mum. She has a brother who lives at Cheapside. He's an attorney.
Cousin,
Hey, never mind, Collins. I choose not to have heard. Do you play, my child? And sing?
A little.
I'm happy to hear it. Music is of all subjects
lied. I could have been a great physician if I learned.
I'm sure you would, Lady
Has
Catherine.
your governess left you?
We never had a governess.
What? No governess? Great heavens, I've never heard of such a thing. Your mamma must have been a perfect slave to her education.
Oh no.
Right, what is your age?
As I am still unmarried, your ladyship can hardly expect me to answer that question.
You can't be over 20, so there's plenty of time before you need to begin lying about your age. If you receive no offer before you are 30, why then...
Is there anything else you would like to know about me, Lady Catherine?
Well, I think we've heard enough about yourself for this morning. We can hear the rest another time. Now I really must devote some of my attention to Mrs. Collins. Collins! Hurry her.
Good morning, Aunt. Ah, Darcy. Good morning, Miss Elizabeth.
Good morning, sir.
Fitzwilliam, I fully appreciate all you've done for England, but you're expected to appear on time for breakfast here. Do you understand?
Forgive me, I overslept. I'm a lazy beggar, you know, and take every advantage of such a charming hostess.
Tut tut! Miss Bennet, what is the impression of your habits?
On the contrary, Lady Catherine, I've already received only the best.
On my honor, you know that was quite a spontaneous compliment. Dash, if it isn't. I hope I shan't disappoint you. Did you hear that, Darcy?
And Miss Bennet is not easily impressed on.
You see how unfortunate I am in meeting with a gentleman so well able to expose my real character, Lady Catherine. And in a part of the world where I hope to pass myself off with some degree of credit.
But I have said nothing to your discredit, Miss Bennet. There could be nothing to say.
I do not understand your meaning, Miss Bennet. My nephew is too gentlemanlike to expose anybody.
Pray, Miss Elizabeth, why don't you retaliate and expose him? Behave in Hertfordshire society.
Such things may come off as will shock his relations to hear.
I am not afraid of you.
He behaved very strangely.
Miss Bennet!
I am sorry, Mom, but truth compels me to state that he was unsociable, silent most of the time.
I lack the talent for conversing easily with strangers.
And those who are beneath your dignity are all strangers, and must forever remain strangers. Is that not so, Mr. Darcy?
Find myself unable to provide an answer.
Were you criticizing my nephew, Miss Bennet?
Criticizing Mr. Darcy? Oh, Lady Catherine.
No, I thought you would not presume to. He has misunderstood you.
Ah, Mrs. Collins. Good morning.
Charles, Miss Collins, I see you've forgotten how I dislike to be kept waiting.
I was gathering together the accounts your ladyship so graciously asked for.
Ah, yes, the accounts are for the feed of your poultry and cows, Miss Collins.
Yes, your ladyship. I had sent one of your footmen to parsonage for the latest one. They're all there. You see how fortunate I am, Lizzie.
Yes, I'm beginning to, Charlotte.
Nothing is too insignificant for her ladyship's kind attentions. Even such a small household as mine.
Ours, my love.
Indeed, my dear. 'Tis the least I can do. But come now, we must set out. I have heard that some of the cottagers are disposed to be quarrelsome again.
I have told them so often the duty of counting their blessings. You
wouldn't believe, Lizzie, how discontented some of these foolish people are with their nice little two-room cottages. But Lady Catherine settles all of their disagreements and silences their complaints.
I can well imagine it.
Now, I will really listen to no more compliments for today, my dear. Come, Miss Collins, we must go to your parsonage first. Mr. Collins may walk across, and I will drive over in the phaeton and join you. Good morning, Miss Bennet. Are you coming, Fitzwilliam?
No. Thank you, Aunt. I don't feel as well qualified as you and Mr. Collins to tell the villagers how to live.
You're probably right.
I shall stay and like Miss Bennet a little longer, and then find Darcy and go for my constitution.
Very well. Oh, and remind me, my child, before you seal your letter, I want to send some advice to your mother. Come, my dears.
Oh, my poor Charlotte.
Come now, cheer up. Why don't you come for a walk with me? You could write your dashing old letter another time.
It is tempting out there, in that dew-drenched world. But no, I shall be firm. I will meet you on your way back, though I will have to do it by stealth.
Good. By Jove, it must be dull being a girl. Never going anywhere alone. Sitting, knitting, or netting, whatever it is you call it. Purses and things. Waiting for some chap to make you an offer. Egad, how does a girl like you put up with it?
Well, for one thing, I don't net purses, and I'm not waiting for any offers. And I actually think that I'm still alone in the mail coach. What do you think of that?
You are too intelligent for a young lady. That's your trouble.
And for most of the young gentlemen I meet. And now, Colonel, what about your constitution on my letter?
I say, Miss Elizabeth, do you mind if I ask you something?
As long as I don't have to answer.
It's about Darcy. You heard him just now. I am fond of the solemn old owl. Why are you so prejudiced against him?
Frankly, I dislike him, and for very good reason. As to that, you might ask him why he adopts such a superior attitude.
Some confounded pride of his. It is always mistaken for conceit.
Is there really much to know beyond a supreme self-assurance and this disdain for anyone under a peer? Such snobbery in a well-born man is incomprehensible to me. I always thought inferior people were snobs.
Well, it's surprising how many well-born people are like that. It's taught them by nursemaids and governesses when they are youngsters. But Darcy has an awfully decent character underneath all that nonsense. He has a heart, and a mind too. Only you can get him to open up.
I shouldn't bother to try.
I'd really like to change your opinion about the old sober side.
You're a loyal friend, and I like you for it. But I'm wondering, nevertheless,
what would you say if I told you that he stayed tied to London all last winter, just to keep a friend away from temptation?
Temptation?
The temptation of making a disastrous marriage. This friend of his, a chap named Dingley, or Bingley, or something like that, evidently conceived a consuming passion for a designing minx he met at some outlandish place in the country.
That happens so often, doesn't it?
Yes, doesn't it? Of course she cared nothing for him, only wanted his name and his fortune. She was aided in her nefarious schemes by a particularly awful specimen of a mother.
Perhaps it was one of those mothers whose kind intentions are often fatal to those she wishes to help.
Probably. But in addition, the girl had a pair of sisters who must have been veritable she-wolves. Poor Dingley was as good as caught.
But Darcy snatched him from the jaws of the she-wolves.
Exactly. It was really a frightfully decent, unselfish thing for him to have done.
Indeed, it was. And I see I've been underrating Mr. Darcy.
Yes. Rather. I say, Miss Bennet, are you laughing at me?
No, Colonel. Not at you.
Ah, it's William. Are you going out?
I was, but all right.
No, no. If you will take the same road as we discovered yesterday, I will join you a little later.
Good. Au revoir, Miss Bennet.
Miss Elizabeth, I wish to speak to you.
I should have thought it evident that I wish to finish my letter.
You're not very polite. You were such a stickler for politeness in Hertfordshire.
We are most of us sticklers for virtues in other people.
Miss Elizabeth.
Sir!
It's no use. In vain have I struggled. Feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. Fortunately, myself all these months. You may think I'm speaking without due thought, that this love that consumes me is a thing that will pass. But it is not so, Miss Elizabeth. I've learned that in the bitterness of my self-abasement, I love you.
Do you expect me to take you seriously? Have you so quickly forgotten the inferiority of my family?
I thought nothing about you. I love you.
Have you considered my unsuitability in the eyes of your exalted world, Mr. Darcy?
I have considered it, and I love you.
You need not say it. What am I supposed to reply to this extraordinary harangue? One can scarcely call it an offer of marriage. You do not, I suppose, expect me to feel flattered.
Do you expect me to be glad that your family is inferior to mine? Or blame me for being honest and sincere when making the most momentous decision of my life?
I ought to congratulate you on overcoming the battle between your unwilling affection and my unworthiness.
Elizabeth!
If you were not so lacking in deception, sir, you might have spared yourself my refusal.
You refuse.
You might have noticed the fact long ago. Neither aspire to nor could I ever return your affection. As for your scruples about marrying into my family, let them never concern you again.
And this is all the reply which I'm to have the honor of expecting. I might perhaps wish to be informed as to why, with so little endeavor at civility, I am thus rejected.
I also might wish to be informed why you consider my feelings so little while expressing your own.
The manner of my revelation has offended you.
I am influenced by something deeper than your manners, Mr. Darcy. I am thinking more of your fine capacity for cruelty.
Cruelty? And when have I demonstrated that capacity?
Mr. Darcy, have you never willfully injured an innocent person?
Ah, you are referring again to my treatment of Mr. Wickham. That still preys on you. The fascination inferior men exert over superior women has often been a puzzle.
Inferior? Do you always apply that word only to other people?
I feel justified in using it towards Mr. Wickham, unless indeed the word cad might be more descriptive. If the principal evidence against me...
This is unworthy of you, sir.
I know you choose not to believe me. Well, let me most earnestly warn you against him. He is an unprincipled,
I refuse to listen to you any further. But it is not only what you have done to Mr. Wickham, although that would be quite enough. Even if I cared for you, nothing would induce me to marry the man who has ruined my sister's life. Sweetest soul ever born. How could you do it? How could you have hurt her, having once known her? Can you deny that you came between Jane and Charles Bingley?
No wish to deny that I did everything in my power to separate my friend from your sister, or that I rejoice in my success. Towards him, I've been wiser than towards myself.
How could you do it?
Because I believed your sister indifferent.
Indifferent?
I watched him most carefully and realized his attachment was deeper than hers.
That's because she's shy.
Bingley, too, is shy and modest, and was persuaded she didn't feel strongly for
Because
her.
you suggested
I did it for his own good.
You talked to me of love. They love each other. She and Charles. Jane is one of those who will only love once. It'll kill her. I know it. You have trodden on a heart.
You wish to think badly of me.
I had no choice. From the first moment of my acquaintance with you, your manner impressed me with its arrogance and selfish disdain for the feelings of others.
My faults, according to this calculation, are heavy indeed, but perhaps may have been overlooked had not your pride been hurt. See, I've made the mistake of being honest with you.
Honesty is a vastly overrated virtue. Tact and taste are more agreeable ones.
My scruples with regard to your family were natural.
And should have been kept to yourself. Let us end this distasteful subject. Mr. Darcy, you are the last man in the world who I can ever be prevailed upon to marry.
I've said quite enough now. Perfectly understand your feelings. You now need to be ashamed of my own feeling. Forgive me for I have taken up much of your time and accept my best wishes for your health and happiness.
Don't you worry about Miss Jane, miss. I'm fine, Mrs. Hill. I'm just tired. Can't believe how glad I was to see last night, Miss Elizabeth. Responsibility was too much for me.
I came as soon as I got Papa's message. Jane seems happier out there in the garden, where she can see the flowers.
And it's no trouble for me to help her downstairs every morning. If I might take liberty, miss, couldn't we hint to the young gentleman?
No. Jane will never forgive us.
If you'd excuse me, miss, it would be best to keep Mrs. Bennet away from her as much as possible. It upsets Miss Jane to have your lady mother always blaming Mr. Bingley.
Yes. I will tell Mama.
Lizzie, my dear, you're very tired. How's Jane? Was it a bad night?
Papa, I'm worried. She seems so languid. Every time I speak to her, she just gives that angelic smile. You know it. Papa, what have they done to
Don't,
her?
Lizzie, my child. Can't have you losing courage. No change by tomorrow, I've decided to call a physician down from London. It's you I'm worried about. You're not getting any sleep. There's too much on your shoulders. Your mother, as usual, is quite useless in a crisis.
I don't think that's a proper way to speak of your wife, Mr. Bennet. You can't blame me for my wretched nerves. Oh, how is that poor Jane? I must see that she's warm enough out
No,
there.
Mama. I promise Hill will let her sleep until she wakes up.
What a comfort to have you home again, Lizzie. Everything's at 6s and 7s. My dear Jane brought back unconscious. All the fault of that fickle Mr. Bingley.
I hope you will have the sense to refrain from those observations in anyone else's company. They humiliate your daughter.
Well, if she dies of a broken heart, it will be a comfort to know that a young man is responsible.
You certainly get your comfort in queer ways, Mrs. Lizzie, your Aunt Gardiner tells us that Jane has not been well for some time in London.
Auntie should have told us sooner. I would have gone straight there.
I'm sure I don't know why we should be having all this trouble.
It seems to me that Jane has all the trouble, Mrs. Bennet. You have only the complaints. You heard how your daughter Lydia's going on at Brighton?
Yes, that's another thing. Ever since she went there, we've only had 2 letters. That's all your fault.
Your process of reasoning is much too intricate for me, my dear. Evidently, your daughter is enjoying herself. If I recall rightly, the last letter your mother received informed us that Lydia had just returned from pacing the seafront, attended by Mr. Wickham and other officers.
Yes, the dear child is always surrounded. You've never done Lydia any justice. You'll see. You make the best match of all my girls. You've told me so little about your visit, my love. How do the Collinses live? Very well, I suppose. I suppose Charlotte is an excellent manager. If she's anything like her mother, there won't be much wasted.
And that before I had time to investigate, Mama. You forget, we only stayed at Rose's.
Oh yes, I forgot. You can't tell me anything. I suppose that when you were alone with them, they spoke of how they should have Longbourn when your father died.
I admire the composure with which you seem to face that inevitable prospect. However, let us hope for better things. Let us flatter ourselves that I may be the survivor.
Maybe cat in the bag.
Lady Catherine, this is a pleasant surprise.
I'm happy to receive your ladyship.
This lady, I suppose, is your mother?
Miss Bennet, Lady Catherine de Bourgh, Mama. You have a very
small park here?
It's much larger than Sir William Lucas's. Has your ladyship lunched?
Certainly. At the Jolly Mills in Meryton? Do you suppose I should be uncertain about where I should pour my luncheon?
But of course, Lady Catherine.
I should like to converse with you. Alone, Miss Bennet?
Certainly. I'm flattered of your kind interest in my Lizzie. If you need me, I'll be in the library. I'm reading a book.
Sit here, Miss Bennet, where I can see you plainly. Do you know why I am here?
No, not at all. I don't know what I have done to deserve this honor.
Has not your conscience told you?
My conscience?
Miss Bennet, I am not to be trifled with. I am celebrated for my frankness. Do not assume those innocent airs. I'm not a man. Report has reached me that you wish to be married to my nephew, Mr. Darcy. I have come post-haste from Rosings to let you know my exact sentiments.
It was a long way to come for such a purpose, Lady Catherine. Especially since I know nothing of such a rumor.
Will you swear there's no foundation for it?
No. I don't pretend to be as celebrated for frankness as your ladyship. So there are certain questions I may choose not to answer.
How dare you? I insist on knowing. Has my nephew made you an offer of marriage?
But your ladyship has already declared that to be impossible.
It certainly should be. But your art may have entangled him into forgetting what he owes to his family.
Then I should certainly be the last to admit it.
Miss Bennet, do you know who I am? I am the nearest relative he has, and am entitled to know his dearest concerns.
Then question him. You certainly are not entitled to know mine.
This marriage to which you have the effrontery to aspire will never take place. Never! Now, what have you to say?
If there were no other objections to my marriage with Mr. Darcy, your commands would certainly carry little weight.
Very well. But if you persist, don't expect to be received by any of his family or his friends. Your name will never be mentioned by any of us.
I must confess to your ladyship that this will not give me a moment's concern.
Miss Bennet, I am ashamed of you. Is this your gratitude for my hospitality?
But Lady Catherine, I regard hospitality as a mutual grace, and by no means consider myself an object of charity.
Understand, my girl. I came here determined. I am not used to submitting to any person's whims, nor brooking disappointment.
That is unfortunate. It's rather late in life for your ladyship to be receiving her first taste of it.
Be silent! The idea of you wanting to marry out of your own sphere.
Oh, I should not think it so. Mr. Darcy is a gentleman, and I am the daughter of one.
And pray, what was your mother? A lady, the daughter of a shopkeeper, with a brother. An attorney. You see, I am not deceived by your airs and graces.
And you, Lady Catherine, the daughter of a peer. It is strange how little birth seem to affect question of taste, or gentleness of heart.
As if you could possibly know anything about such things. Answer me once and for all. Are you engaged to my nephew?
No. I'm not engaged to him.
And will you promise me you never will be?
I will not.
Miss Bennet, I am shocked. Then I refuse to leave here until you have given me that promise.
Mrs. Hill, I trust your ladyship will have a pleasant journey back to Rosings. Mrs. Hill, her ladyship coach you, please.
It is waiting, Miss Lizzie.
I take no leave of you. I send no farewell message to your mother. Miss Bennet, I am seriously displeased.
Why has her ladyship left so soon? I was hoping to have a nice long talk with her about the Collinses.
She didn't wish to remain longer, Mamma.
She's a very fine-looking woman, my love. And her calling here was prodigiously civil. I suppose she only came to tell us the Collinses were well. On her way somewhere, I dare say. Passing from Meryton, I thought she might as well call on you. I suppose she had nothing particular to say, Lizzie.
No, Mamma. Nothing at all.
Lizzie? Lizzie! Where are you, Lizzie?
In here, Papa.
Here. Read this.
What is it, Mr. Bennet? You look vexed about something.
Papa, this is frightful.
I think I am as deserving of your confidence as my daughter Lizzie.
Colonel Forster informs me that your daughter has run off with Mr. Wickham.
But where?
What does it matter where? The important thing is that you went anywhere with that scoundrel.
Wickham! It's incredible.
They have eloped. Do you understand?
Oh, the poor child. And without wedding clothes.
They left Brighton at midnight on Saturday and were not missed until 8 o'clock yesterday morning.
But you will surely marry her, Papa.
What? They're not married? Impossible! Why did you not do such a thing?
Kindly control yourself, Mrs. Bennet. This is no time for hysterics. Listen to this. Your daughter left a message for my wife, stating that she and Mr. Wickham had gone to Gretna Green. I at once set off after them and traced them as far as Clapham, and there lost all clues.
Oh, my poor innocent child!
Mrs. Bennet, for once in your life, I entreat you to try not to be silly. After making every possible inquiry, I am sincerely grieved to inform you that I can find no further trace of them, and no word of any marriage ceremony.
But how could she get married? She has no wedding clothes!
Colonel Forster's letters only said that they found no trace of a ceremony yet. It doesn't mean
Whatever it means, you can rest assured that I will attend to that young man.
Oh, Mr. B, you frightened me out of my wits. Oh, Lizzie, I know your father will fight Mr. Wickham and be killed. My goodness, as the Tom said, before he's cold in his grave.
Mrs. Hill! Try to stand up, Mamma. Mrs. Hill, will you fetch a potion for my mother? She's not feeling well and needs some rest.
Sister or mistress upstairs, then ask Agnes to pack my bags quickly.
Not me, Mum.
Out
the way.
My child, I must leave for London at once. You manage things here.
Of course, Papa.
Don't you worry. Fine. I'll make that scoundrel marry her.
Forget about punishing Wickham. Just get them married, Papa. But how could Lydia have done such a thing?
That shameless girl. She would have eloped with anything in uniform.
It's my fault. I knew about Wickham. I could have stopped them.
Not to blame yourself, Lizzie. It was I who allowed you to go, and I will never forgive myself for it. I'll go check on your mother and then get my things.
Mr. Charles Bingley and Mr. Darcy.
We're not disturbing, sir.
You'll excuse me, sir, but I'm posting up to London for a few days and must be off. Goodbye, Lizzie. Take care of everyone.
I'll manage, Papa.
Gentlemen, your servants, sir. Miss Elizabeth, I be permitted to see Miss Jane.
She's very ill, Mr. Bingley.
I'm shocked to hear it. I was told of her illness only today. Mr. Darcy learned of it at Rosings and found me in London and brought me here. I know that you and your family have every reason to think badly of me, Miss Elizabeth. And I shouldn't blame your sister if she refused ever to see me again. But there are some sentiments that are too strong to be denied. Please, do let me see her, Miss Elizabeth. I assure you
I understand. She's in the garden, Mr. Bingley. Just do here. Mr. Darcy, I provide myself in unexpected positions, wishing to thank you.
Do not embarrass yourself. I only beg that you will accept my word of honor that I had no idea Mrs. Jane cared seriously for Charles. You knew no more of it than I. Miss Bingley assured us both her sister had only a passing interest in me.
Miss Bingley formed her own opinion too readily, as I did in my judgment of Mr. Wickham. Mr. Darcy, you must tell me what you know of him.
Catherine.
No. But it is very important that I know the truth about him.
Part of the story he tells is true. He was granted a small legacy in my father's will. I saw that this was more than fulfilled. I gave him £30,000 in the offer of the clerical living at Pemberley. He haughtily refused the living, but graciously accepted the money. It was squandered within a year, thanks to Mr. Wickham's ill-luck at gambling, his fascination for women. He was driven to more desperate measures. He learned that my sister was at Ramsgate.
Mr. Wickham and your sister.
He persuaded that child of 15 that she was in love with him, and made her promise to elope. Thank God I arrived in time to spoil the plan.
Only I had listened to you. You meant to save Lydia.
Lydia?
She was staying at Brighton with the Forsters. They eloped from there. That's why my father has just gone up to London. Wickham will never marry her. She has no money, no connections, nothing to tempt him. Lydia is done for.
Please, you must not despair.
Mr. Darcy, I owe you an apology. I have been rude and proud, while you have remained patient, kind, and civil. You were honest with me about Wickham, and about my family, who are now utterly disgraced. I only hope that one day you might...
May I come again tomorrow to see her?
Certainly can.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth.
And you will see her again tomorrow.
I hope I shall see her on every tomorrow. That may ever be.
Must bid you farewell, Miss Elizabeth. I'm leaving Netherfield at once.
But I thought you were to stay on with us.
I find it impossible to stay on.
What has caused this sudden change? Has anything gone wrong?
No, I have no taste for life in the country.
I'm sorry. Until tomorrow, then. Goodbye, Miss Elizabeth.
Goodbye, Mr. Bingley. Goodbye, Mr. Darcy.
The servant, Mom.
Jane. Jane. I am most hopelessly, wretchedly in love.
What do you say, my dear? Mr. Darcy? You are joking, Lizzie. I know it to be impossible.
It is both true and impossible. I refused him at Rosings, and now I find myself desperate for a renewal of his love.
Refuse him. My dearest sister, be serious now. We need to talk very seriously. Tell me everything I am to know without delay.
You will tell all, Jane. There's so much to tell.
Yes, indeed, dear. Even the weather seems to be celebrating your engagement to that darling Bingley. 2 sons-in-law, 2 of my daughters to be married women. Lydia, in fact, already married to that naughty Mr. Wickham. Your father certainly managed things very well. If only it weren't for Lizzie. If only she hadn't been so uppish with that collet.
Please, Mamma.
I'm sitting right here, Mamma.
Let's go. That will be a lesson to her. Marriage is in the air, I see. 2 in the family. Completely restored you to health, eh, Mrs. Bennet? You too, Jane. Your own self again. When does Mr. Bingley arrive?
He'll be here any moment now, Papa.
That friend of his, Mr. Darcy, is a very extraordinary young man. You've seen a lot of him at the gardens while I was in London.
Darcy? Darcy at the Gardeners?
Of course, you're only 21, dear. Though to be sure, I was married to Mr. Bennet when I was 17.
But remember how irresistible you were, my dear.
Don't despair, Mamma. Where there's life, there's hope. And after all, I still have some in my teeth.
You shouldn't joke about such things, Lizzie. No, you can't expect your Uncle Gardner to find another 10,000 to give to you. It's he, I understand, who's found a sum for us. Though I honestly hope he doesn't expect us to pay it back.
£10,000.
I'm glad someone in the family was able to pay for darling Lydia's dowry.
Otherwise, no doubt, the naughty Mr. Wickham would have continued to live in sin with her.
Jane, your own sister!
But isn't that the accepted way of mentioning a young lady and gentleman who are travelling about without benefit of clergy?
There is no way of mentioning it. Not for respectable people.
My dear Uncle Gardner had spent £10,000 so that respectable people could mention it. I only hope he hasn't sacrificed the principle of his fortune for this worthless pair.
Well, it's none of your business, Lizzie. Lydia is married and secured. That's all that matters.
You can dismiss that worry from your mind, Lizzie.
What do you mean, Papa?
Ah, did I mention that it was through Mr. Darcy's efforts that we found the bag?
What?
Mr. Darcy? That man!
And it was he who obtained the money for us to buy back Lydia's respectability.
You're joking,
It's
Mr.
not true.
He must be a noble character.
But why should Mr. Darcy do all this?
Well, for one, I understand that he detests Mr. Wickham.
I should have preferred my brother Gardner should have paid the money. Why didn't he, Mr. Bennet?
For the very simple reason, Mrs. Bennet, that he hasn't got it. As to why Mr. Darcy played the philanthropist, that will probably be revealed in its own good time. But remember, Lydia and Wickham are never to know.
You mustn't worry about me ever telling. I'd much rather Mr. Wickham believe that our family provided for his wife's dowry than when I wish to visit my girl, he can never object.
Did I mention that your daughter and her new husband are being sent to join his regiment up north? They will arrive here today on their way there.
Oh, Mr. Bennet!
I am not at all decided to receive them.
What?
Oh, we must receive them, Papa.
Yes!
Lydia has been through enough without being cast off by us.
Well, perhaps you are right.
Oh, how wonderful it will be to see my darling Lydia again.
Mr. Charles Bingley.
Oh, Mr. Bingley, do come in.
And yours, sir. My sister sends greetings to you all. To you especially.
This is the day I expect.
Oh, how charming. Everything's just as it used to be.
Not quite, Mom. I'm hoping you know to have a new mistress at Netherfield very soon. I came over today, sir, for your consent. You will see my letter in London.
My boy, you are the first suitor for any of my daughters who has met with my approval. With all my heart. You are a good girl, Jane. I am happy that you will have a husband worthy of you. I have not a single doubt about the success of this marriage. You are both so sweet-tempered that your servants will impose on you. So generous that you will exceed your income. Bless you, my children.
Mr. Bennet, you see the queerest things. My daughter Jane has never been extravagant, and as for exceeding her income, dear Charles has 5,000 a year.
Miss Lydia. I mean Mrs. Wickham.
Lydia! Lydia, my darling child! And Mr. Wickham, allow me to greet my first son-in-law.
Oh, Mamma, such a journey as we have had.
How is my new family?
Well, congratulate me. I'm a married woman now. Well, Lydia dear. Jane, dear, and Charles.
Have you seen any of our friends at Meryton, Miss Elizabeth?
I have not, Mr. Wickham.
Now I may be less formal. Lizzie.
That is hardly necessary.
Lizzie, my child. We do have a nice journey back from London. We left quite soon after you. There was plenty of room in our chaise for you, wasn't there, Mr. Wickham?
We should have been honored.
Only think. It's 3 whole months since I left. Just the same old place. Well, gracious, I certainly had no idea of being married when I left. Oh, Mamma. Do the people hereabouts know that I am married?
Of course, everyone knows.
I was afraid they might not. So when our chaise over to William Goulding, I was determined he should know about my being married. So what do you think I did? As our coach passed his, I let down the window and rested my hand on the window frame like this. So Lecky see my wedding ring. The whole American will know by now. Then I bowed and smiled like this. I My lady, you can still be the prettiest if you like, but I'm the one who got married first. And what do you think of my new husband? Isn't he charming? I'm sure you two girls must envy me.
You embarrass me, Mrs. Wickham.
I will put my heart on the block. They must both go to Brighton. That's the place to find husbands. Just let me
But you and Mr. Wickham live so far away.
Why not? I'm going to love it. You and Papa and sisters must come visit me. We shall be at Newcastle all next winter, and I dare say there'll be some falls. I'll find husbands for them before the winter's over.
Thank you for your kind intentions, but I don't particularly care for your way of getting husbands.
La, jealousy is a dreadful feeling, Lizzie. I'm glad, Jane, that you, at any rate, are not cross at me for getting a husband before you.
Ah, but your sister Jen will be able to follow your example very soon.
I was the first, at any rate.
Lydia, my love, take Mr. Wickham upstairs. You both need to prepare for luncheon. You can't leave before that.
Don't we make a nice couple, Jane?
Take Jane out to the garden for little sunshine, Charles. You must excuse my Lydia. She's so very young.
I'm delighted to see you so happy, Mom. My darling, I can't believe this.
Is it more difficult to believe this than what you believed in London?
Jane, you knew I loved you when I left Netherfield.
Ah, yes. But I had that knowledge entirely to myself. Its only value is when it's mutual.
But I was assured of your own difference, my darling.
That serves a credit to your modesty, rather than to your judgment.
If I'd only known.
If you had only asked.
My dear fellow, I didn't know.
Mr. Darcy, please wish me joy. It's your doing, you know.
My dear Miss Jane, I wish you both every happiness. And don't let us keep you from your walk.
I did not expect.
I hope I'm not altogether unwelcome.
I'm glad of the opportunity of getting to express my gratitude for all you've done. Lydia, Jane, for all of us.
If you will thank me, then let it be for yourself alone. Whatever I did, only of you.
Of me?
Can you ever forgive my past errors?
Surely, in such a case, a good memory would be unpardonable. But truly, it is I who should be asking your forgiveness. I'm so ashamed. If you had not been noble and just, you would have hated me. I think of the way you requited my incivility, your cruelty. I cannot bear your kindness.
Elizabeth, you are too generous to trifle. If your feelings are still what they were last April, tell me so at once. My affections and wishes are unchanged. But one word from you will silence me on the subject forever. If, however, your feelings have changed, I would have to tell you, you have bewitched me, body and soul. And I love you. I love you. And never wish to be parted from you from this day on. Dare I ask again?
Yes.